Hi everyone, my and my colleague Mahesh, we are going to present you how the Microsoft project has to be worked out. This is mainly regarding for the VTO students. We are taking care of a VTO students, and as per their syllabus, we are trying to cover what are the content which has to be looked at while solving the different Microsoft project works. Okay, and basically, first let me tell you why the Microsoft project is mainly used. Okay, this is a software tool which is used for the construction management. You can ask us like a why construction management, what is construction management, and how we will take care of construction management using a single tool, that is Microsoft project. That too, it is a open source which is available in the Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft Office tool, the Microsoft project is available, so you can everyone can avail this Microsoft project software, paying a very less amount. That it will get it in, you will get this Microsoft project in a package of Microsoft Office, so wherein you work out of Microsoft Word and Microsoft presentation, everything you are doing, no? The PPTs you do, PowerPoint. So the same way you will also get the Microsoft project in the Microsoft Office bunch itself. So now, construction management. What is construction management? Let me tell you. Construction management has got a lot of scope nowadays. Okay, so how the management has to be applied in a construction field, that we have to take care. Like, what are the different steps in a construction management? How the cash flow has to be monitored, and how the progress of the project is monitored. So we have a different work breakdown structure in an institute. Like for example, if you take a construction work, then we would be having a various construction breakdown, like a work breakdown structure would be there. Like over a first owner comes up, and then next to them the project manager. Beside that project manager, there would be a site engineer. Like that, it goes on. Okay, so complete work breakdown structure we have to analyze, and what are the responsibilities of each person, that has to be analyzed, and what are the resource which has to be used in a construction project. That we have to everything we have to uh, give to a software so that it can analyze, and we can easily update. Okay, we can have a track. Okay, how much material has been consumed as on the date. So next, for the next day, what is the consumption rate, and how much of a quantity is required for the next day. So everything can be tracked using the Microsoft project. So this is a brief introduction about the Microsoft project, and let me tell you this, for our syllabus is concerned, for EBTU students in the software application lab, we have the three softwares. One is StatPro, the next is Microsoft Project, and the Excel, Microsoft Excel, and there is a one more, Open RS, Remote Sensing, and GIS. Okay. So here the three question out of a four, you have to attempt any three projects. So let us know in very detail about the Microsoft project in this class. Now the next session will be handled by our Mahesh sir, and he will continue the session, and he will tell you everything about how the Microsoft project, which how it is helpful for the student to schedule and track the various civil activities in the construction work. Okay, so let me hand over the session to Mahesh sir. He will complete the whole session. The session will carry out, it will be carried out for a next half an hour and so. So please, all of you, please focus on to the how the various steps has to be solved, and how the system, how the construction project has to be uh, taken care. Okay, so
First, we have to open a new Microsoft project. So once you open Microsoft project, so you will get. So one empty sheet like this you are going to get. So in this, whatever the work we are going to do, so everything we need to do in this sheet. So here first starts with Excel sheet as well as Gantt chart sheet. Both the sheets you can see on the display now. So here we are going to work. So we are going to do all the construction activities right from the scheduling to tracking up to reports generation. So we can do in this sheet, right? So here before starting up the project, so we have to do some settings. So here for doing settings, so we need to go to file option. So here in this option, if you go to options, so you'll get a separate one dialog box. So here you need to do some standard settings. So for the project, right? So here uh, basic settings we have to do one thing. It is first we have to select. So what is the uh, cost we are going to represent. So in what terms we are going to represent, whether it may be dollars or Indian rupees. So that we need to select first. So for that you have here current display option. So in that we are going to get one currency option. So here we have to select Indian rupees as our budget representation. For our budget representation, Indian rupees we have to use, and symbols also rupees we have to use, right? So and then we need to go to schedules option. So here also we have to do some standard settings. So here whatever you are seeing on the top, so that is all related calendar settings, so that we can do it, change it later also, right, for the project. So first thing we have to change one thing. So which is here you can see the task, new task created, which is showing here manually scheduled. That we have, that first one, first we have to make it as auto scheduled. Since here we have to use for all the tasks whatever we are entering. So for all the tasks we need to use as a single scheduling option. Either it may be manually scheduled or otherwise auto scheduled. So in case of manually scheduled means, so every time we have to for each and every activity we have to enter start time and finish time. So here what is the use of auto schedule means, so here if you use only here once if you setting standard base setting as auto schedule means, so automatically when you enter the duration of the activity, so automatically it will take the finishing date of a activity, right? So that's why here we have to make it as auto schedule, right? Along with that, here whatever it is showing, so the fixed duration default task type fixed units it is showing. So here we are working on duration. So based on the duration we are going to find out total duration of the project based on the task duration. So here we have to select fixed duration. So these are the some changes we have to make before starting of our project. So then click on OK. So then you have to start with the calendar. So here for starting off any project, first thing we need to create a calendar. So that means what is the starting date of our project, what is the finishing date of our project, and then what is the scheduled dates for each and every activity. So then from that we can identify what is the total duration of our project, right? So for that, for doing in this Microsoft project, so we have some options here. So in the main menu bar, so you can see file option, tasks, resources, and in this for each and every main menu bar option, so we have some standard importance. So if you click on that file option, so here you can see for saving the file and setting settings in the project. So we are going to use that file option. So then if you click on the tasks option, so here related to tasks, that means activities, related to activities. So what are all the changes we want to make? So like uh, to make as a minor activity, major activity, or important activity, or milestone activity, or otherwise if you want to make a separate list of critical activities. So for all those, we are going to use this basic task option. So here you can see left indent, right indents, and percentage completion of that activities. Everything we can see here. So on the task option. Similarly, resource option. So here, whatever the resource option here we are getting, so that is all related to resources. Whatever the resources we are using in the project. So for those resource assigning and setting and leveling of the resources. So for all those, we are going to use this resource option. And then if you click on project, so these are the some options we are going to get. So in this, so what is the basic project information regarding what is the start date, finishing date, and all those data we are going to get here. And similarly here we can make work breakdown structure and calendar for the project. So what is the base calendar we are using, how to create that calendar, and next setting up baseline, updating project. So for all those we are going to use this project option. And view, if you click on the view, so for this option we are going to use for checking the calendar and resources usage and what is the amount you are used. So for all those, we are going to use this view option for viewing all these options. So whatever all the options we have available here, so all those we can use here on the view menu bar. So then formats. So here, for when you come to the format, so here, what is the different type of linking activities you are going to get? So as you can see here, different linking bars. So that is here we are going to get four different type of linking bars. So that is finish to finish, start to finish, finish to start, and then finish to finish. So likewise, four different type of linkings we are going to get for each and every activities. So for selecting those formats and this format option we are going to use, right? So then first we have to start with our Excel sheet here in this project. So first we have to make a list of what are all the activities we are going to do in the project. So for example, first I'll consider one small construction of a house. So we will take construction of house as an example. So from that, we will discuss all the activities, all the procedure for the Microsoft project. So how we are going to do. So from the right, from the beginning to ending. So what are the procedure? So that we will discuss here, right? So first, before starting up the project, so we have to set a calendar for our project. So right, so for setting a calendar, we have to click on the project. So here you'll get one option, change working time. So if you click on the change working time, so here you will get one separate dialog box. So here you can see that calendar also it is showing. So right, so in this we have to create one separate calendar. So whichever the calendar we are creating, so that calendar we have to make it as a base calendar, right? So for that here we have to create one new calendar. So for that we have one option here, create new calendar. Just click on that create new calendar. So just here name it separate on new name for the calendar. So just I'll enter it as SVCE. So one separate calendar and then click on OK. So now it is one separate calendar. It is created on the name SVCE. You can see here on the top calendar SVCE. So here we are going to get whatever the calendars we have created, all the calendars it will showing here. So in that which one we have created, which one we are using, so that we need to select here. So here in this calendar, so that white color indicates working hours, so little bit dark color indicates non-working. So as you can see here in the calendar now in the June month, right? So in this, how many days if you want to work for our project and how many hours in a day, how many days in a week, how many days in a month, so that we have to select here. For each and every project, we need to set a one base calendar first. So for that, we have to select all this working time and working days in a month or in a week, so that we have to select. So for that selection, so whatever it is showing here, it is a standard one. So in that, we are creating one separate calendar for our project. So for that here, you need to click on work weeks. So that in that, we have to select how many number of days in a work we are going to, how many days we are going to work in a week, then in a month. So how many hours in a day we are going to work, that we need to select here. For that, if you just click on that work weeks, so you need to go to details option. So here we have to select how many days in a week we are going to work. So right, so that is always that starting day of the week it is Monday. So from Monday to Saturday, so we are going to work. For example, I am taking this 6-day working calendar. So in that 6 days, so again we have to select what is the working time per day that we have to select. So for that you have to click on that specific work time. So here we have to select what is the working time in a day. So that means if you are working daily 8 hours means, so here I am giving some working hours. So from 8 to 12 p.m. So then 13 to 17. So that is 1 to 5 p.m. So from 8 to 12 means 4 hours. So from 1 to 5 means 4 hours. So totally 8 hours per day here working. So just click on OK. So here automatically that calendar applies here, right? So if you want to give any exceptional holidays, so if you want to give any exceptional holidays, means so here in the exceptions you can represent that holidays. Either if you want a third Saturday in every month, if you want a holiday, or otherwise second Saturday. So whichever you want, so that separate holidays. So that holidays you can represent here by going exceptions. After going to the details, so here you need to select whether which month or daily or yearly ones if you want holiday, so that you need to select here. So after selecting, so you need to click on OK. So then, so that applies to this calendar. Right now here we are not creating any exceptional holidays, only that 5 working days we are using in a week and 8 hours per day as a working. So that calendar we are going to use as a base calendar for our project now, right? So then after creating that calendar like this, so then click on OK. So now we have created one calendar. So that calendar we have to set it as a base calendar. So here for setting the base calendar, so whatever you are seeing on this display now, so that is this left hand side, it is Excel sheet. So that is for entering the tasks and resources, and then starting time and finishing time predecessors for all those working procedures. Here we can see that on the Excel sheet. So in the right side, this here we are going to get one bar chart, right? This combined together we are going to use call it as Gantt chart, right? So whatever the tasks you are going to enter, so that automatically will shows here on the left side, so on the right side, so that bar chart will represents. So here we have to set it our base calendar. So whatever calendar we have created as SVC, that calendar we have to set here, right? So for that here, whatever you are seeing, there is already inbuilt calendar. So that means weekly 2 days holiday. So that is already existing calendar. Apart from this, we have created one more calendar. So that calendar we have to set it as a base calendar. So for that setting the base calendar, so we have to select our calendar, whatever we have created. So for that, you can see here this orange color line indicates to current date of the month. So that is here it is representing second, right? Second of the this June month. So that is the date of current date of the project, right? So here we have to set our calendar as a base calendar. So for that you just right click. So here go to non-working option. So for going here you need to click on that bar chart only. Bar chart, right click you have to press, and then you need to click on that non-working time. So here you have to select what is the calendar we have selected, what is the calendar we have created. That calendar we have to select here. For that you just click on that calendar option here. So now calendar created on the name SVCE. So here you can change that non-working day color also you can change, and then click on OK. See here whatever the calendar we have created that applies to here. That is for the bar chart we are applying here whatever the calendar we have created. And one more place also we have to change that calendar. So here go to project information. So here also we have to select what is the calendar we have created. It is calendar, it is showing standard, but we have created one separate calendar, right? So that calendar we have to select here SVCE, and the name SVCE one calendar we have created. So that calendar we have to select. So then click on OK. So now, so that basic setting we have done. So for the project, so that means calendar, working time, and everything we have created. So then we have to enter what are the tasks in our construction of a small house. So what are the activities we are going to get, that we need to enter here along with the duration. So just for that, so already I am entered some activities, so that those activities I'll copy it and paste it in the new project. So here for each and every activity we have to enter like this. So for each activity we have to give duration. So whatever you are seeing here, so that is auto scheduled activities. So earlier I made it as auto scheduled for each and every activity. So for that's why here automatically it is showing for all the activities auto scheduled. So for all these activities we have to enter in here in the Excel sheet. So then we have to enter. So what is the duration for each and every activity? Back, back will just so we have to enter all the activities like this. So just I'm using some activities for the explanation. I'm using some random number of activities. So here you can enter some thousands of activities. So in this project, so for all these projects, so here you can see that task mode. So that is auto scheduled mode. So we have selected automatically scheduled task, right? So in the beginning we have selected auto scheduled mode. So that's why it is showing auto scheduled. So we have to maintain for all the activities only single type of scheduled mode. So if you change it manual schedule means that symbol also it shows difference. You can see a pin type of symbol. So that if you are showing in your project means if it is showing in your project means that is that task mode it is changed. That again you need to change it as auto scheduled. If it is changes like this means so that is connectivity between the activities it will that going to disconnecting we are going to get between the activities. So that's why here we have to maintain a particular one type of task mode, right? So that is auto schedule we have to maintain or otherwise manual schedule we have to use. So like this I am entered some activities. So in this project, so for the construction of a small house, I'll name it as separately construction of house. So now, after entering all the activities, so we have to create work breakdown structure. So that is what are all the main activities, what are all the sub activities that we have to divide here, right? So for that, just here you can see construction of a house. So that is the major activity, right? So below that, all the activities we need to get, right? So that's why here you just select all the activities here, what are the activities we have entered like this we have to select. So then after selecting, so you just click on tasks. So here you are going to get one separate option, so that is indent option. So here if you click on that indent option, right indent and left indent, two options, you are going to get two arrow marks. So right side for moving towards right side and moving towards left side, right? So if you just click on that right indent, so all the activities will becomes right side. So under the construction of house. So you just if you click on that construction of house, you can means so all the activities gets closed. So that means here under this construction of house, so that means all the activities we are getting. So like this we have to select all the activities. So here like after entering all these activities, similarly we have to divide all the work into sub activities and main activities. So then so here then again we will divide some more main activities and sub activities. So here, if you see that substructure, so here we can enter so many number of activities, and we can enter we can delete the number of activities also. If we click on here, so on the serial number, so right click on that. So if you, whether if you want to insert task or if you want to delete task, so all this we can do it here, right? So just here if you want to insert any task means you can insert, or otherwise if you want to delete task means also you can delete here, right? So for that, now next under this substructure, so I want all this as a minor activities. So substructure means below the ground level, whatever the work we are going to do, so that I'll make it as one separate task. So that means below that substructure, I want all these activities, that is foundation, bed concreting, backfill, brickwork below the plinth level, and plinth beam and backfilling. So these all activities I want under substructure, right? So that means I'll select all those activities. I'll do it right in it. So here you can see that these all five activities will become under the substructure. So if you click on that substructure, so that all the activities will get closed. So that means under that some other five sub activities we have. Like this you have to represent. So then superstructure. So then in that superstructure we have to select all the activities. Do it right indent. So here, so then after doing like this, so we have to divide. So here we are divided all the activities into main activities and major major and minor activities. So in this, for each and every activity we have to give now duration, right? So in this superstructure, so we can divide further also, we can divide that. So here, yeah, for the roof slab, so what are all the activities we are going to for the do for the roof slab, so that is also we can divide into number of sub activities. So that is here, if you can select these all the activities, so that is also comes under roof slab. So that means first one, centering, reinforcing, leveling of the slab, and concrete pouring and curing. So that is all comes for the roof slab. So that is all the activities we can make it as sub activities. So just I'll make it as sub activities, and then electrical and plumbing activities, uh, we will leave it as a sub activity. And then plastering, for the plastering here we have given two types. So inside plastering and external plastering, interior plastering and exterior plastering. So that is also we'll make it as right indent. So that means under the plastering, these are the two activities like this. So here all this we are doing indenting for dividing work breakdown structure, right? Work breakdown structure, that is WBS. So which is helpful for work dividing, right? So here whatever the main construction of a house we have, so that we are dividing into sub activities, right? So like in first major activity is construction of house, so under that we have some sub activities like this. So that is site clearance, marking, substructure and superstructure. So in this superstructure we have some more sub activities. So these are the sub activities under the superstructure, right? So then in the roof slab, if you click on this, in the for the construction of roof slab, these are the some activities we need to do. So that is centering and shuttering, reinforcing, leveling of the slab, and concrete pouring, and then curing. So these are our options we are going to get for the roof slab, for the construction of roof slab. So then, like this, we can close all the activities. If you click on that construction of house, all the activities gets closed. So then, if you click on that plus mark, all the activities will get open. So that it will shows here we are creating a work breakdown structure for each and every activity. So like this, we have to create a work breakdown structure. So in the project, so that we can show it in a symbolic manner also, right? So that work breakdown structure, how we have divided that work breakdown structure also, we can show it in a symbolic manner. So for that, we will insert one more column here. So that columns also here we can insert or we can delete that columns also. So for here we want one WBS as a separate column. So for that, just I'll insert one column here. So just enter W. So here you will get what are the options from W. So that is WBS we want. So here you can see that in the number format we got that WBS. So here one indicates, so that is the main activity. 1.1 indicates, so that is a sub activity. So 1.1 likewise 1.3.1, so that is a sub activities, so that is minor activities. So likewise work dividing each and every content we are getting here. So like in how we in your textbook, how we, in our textbook, so that generally what contents division we are going to get similar manner here we are doing. So this whatever the number we have, so that is we can also change as a numerical letter or alphabetic letters also we can change it here, the WBS coding. So for that we need to go to click on that project. So here WBS option we have define code, go to define code. So here we have to select what is the sequential order. So first for the main activity you want alphabetic or numerical letter. So likewise we can select here. So what I'll do here for the main activities, I'll select uppercase letter. So here length of the word I'll select as 1. So then sub activities I'll select lowercase letter. A length I'll select only 1 digit. So here separator also we can change. So instead of dot we can use slash, or we can use plus, or we can use dash. So anything we can use. So just I'll use here slash for the separator. So then next for minor activities I'll use numerical letters. Then click on OK. See here automatically that will changes. So here we are divided separate code defined. So for the all main activity it is showing capital A. Sub activities it is showing small letters. So for sub activities, that means minor activities, it is showing in a numerical letters. So like this we have given coding them. So according to that it is showing in a WBS column. So then after doing this, so we have to give duration for each and every activity. So here in the duration column, so that question mark represents, so we are not given duration for any activity. If you give some duration for each and every activity means, so that question mark will disappear, right? So here what I'll do, some randomly I'll give some duration. So it is not exact duration I'm giving. So just randomly I'm representing some duration for each and every activity in terms of days. Site clearance, just I'll providing 3 for marking 2 days. So here for the main activities, we are not supposed to give any duration. Only for the sub activities we have to provide. So that means whatever the bolded words we have here. So for all those we are not supposed to give duration. Only minor activities we have to provide duration. For foundation excavation 5 days, bed concreting 1 day, brickwork, so that means footing work. So just I'll give 6 days. For plinth beam 1 day, backfilling 2 days. So then superstructure it is the main activity. For that we are not giving. So then 9-inch walls till sill level. So for that I'll provide 10 days. So then 6-inch wall. So for that I'll provide 5 days. Window frame fittings for all those. So just I'm giving 5 days. Brickwork from sill level to roof level. So for that I'll provide 5 days. So then lintel beam and chedja. So for all this construction, we are going to give some duration. So for that I'll giving here 3 days, and brickwork up to roof. So for that I'm giving another 4 days. So then roof slab it is considered as a main activity. So here then below that we have some minor activities. For all those we are giving for centering and settling 2 days, reinforcing 1 day, leveling 1 day, concrete pouring 1 day, and then curing. So for curing generally we have to provide 28 days. So just I'm giving same days, 28 days as duration. And then electrical and plumbing accessories, plumbing fittings. So for that I'm giving here some other 5 days. So then plastering we have given it as main activity. So we're not supposed to assign for that. So interior plastering I'll give 5 days. For exterior plastering 4 days. Painting around 10 days. Doors and windows fittings. So for all those I'll give some 10 days. Just electrical fittings 2 days. And after if any other finishing works if you have me, so for that I'll give some duration here. So just uh, some 10 days for all the finishing works, end of the project or finishing works, we have to give some duration. So here you can see that all the activities we have provided some duration for each and every activity. So now after providing this, so we have to provide a linking between the activities. So whatever it is showing individually for each and every activity, we have given some separate duration. So that duration on the bar chart you can see here. What is the duration for each and every activity? So that each and every activity we have to create a link. So that means we have to start from one activity. So that is beginning to ending we have to come. So that means what is the first activity, what is the next activity. So here we have to define what is the preceding activity, what is the successor activity, right? So those we have to provide. For that we have to give linking. So here for giving linking, the system project automatically it will take finish to start kind of linking. So I already told you four types of linkings. So in that, so the project automatically takes finish to start type of linking. So that means after completing a first activity, so next activity we are going to start. Likewise, kind of linking activity we are going to get here, right? So for that we have two different options for creating linkings between the activities, right? So for that here, if you just click on that first activity, so here we have two different methods for creating linkings. So first method, so just you can see here at the predecessors column. So here also you can create one linkings, or otherwise by directly in the bar chart also we can create. So first one we will see in the tabular column here. So predecessor column. So for main activities we are not supposed to give any predecessors. So we are for main activities we are not supposed to consider here. Only for minor activities we have to consider. So first activity is site clearance. So for site clearance, so here what is the right side serial number we have 2. For marking we have 3 serial number. So by seeing that serial numbers we have to give here linkings, right? So here first activity, so for that we don't have any predecessor, so that means here it leave it as empty. So then comes to marking. So marking, so after completing that site clearance, so we are going to do marking. So for site clearance, what is the number here? Serial number, it is 2. Just give here predecessor as 2 for marking. So like this. See here in the bar chart automatically that linking you got here. So that is after completing first activity, so that is site clearance, next activity will starting. Like this, that linking it is showing. So that is finish to start type of linking, right? So if you click on that, so here automatically it will shows that finish to start type of linking link task. So that is finish to start, any lagging time or leading time. So if you have missed, so that is also it is representing here. So like this we can create, or otherwise on the directly on the bar chart also we can create linking. So how we are going to do on bar chart means you just click on that bar. So for example, you want to create a link between marking to foundation excavation. So for example, here marking one option we have one bar, and foundation excavation is another bar. So in want to create linking between these two means, so you just click on that marking, just drag it to foundation. So automatically it links create like this. So just if you drag like this, so we can create linking for on the bar chart also directly we can create like this. So we can create linkings. So directly on the bar chart also we can create. So or otherwise here also we can enter that predecessor activity, right? So for construction of walls, we have to complete that foundation substructure. So that means we will take it as backfilling. So and plinth beam. So combined after completing these two activities, we are going to do construction of walls, right? So just I'll take predecessors as 8 and 9. So that means after completing plinth beam and backfilling, so we are going to do construction of walls, right? So for that, what is the serial numbers here for backfilling and plinth beam? 8 and 9. So just I'll enter it as 8 comma 9. So then click on done. See here after completing these two activities, so then we are starting construction of walls, right? So see here simultaneously we can start 9-inch wall and 6-inch wall. So that means we can give predecessors this one only. So that is backfilling and plinth beam we can give for the 6-inch wall also. So that is 8 comma 9. Like this we have to provide linkings between the activities. So similarly for all the activities we have to give linkings, right? So we have to provide a linkings for all the activities. So just I'll give for all the activities, which is the first activity, which is the next activity, likewise. So then after completing 11 and 12, 11 comma 12, so next activity we are going to start. So then here I'm giving predecessor is 13. So then for lintel and chedja we have to complete frame fitting. So that is 30 I'm giving as predecessor. And then for construction of brickwork above the roof till roof level, we are going to give predecessors as a brickwork till roof level. So that is here I am providing predecessor 14 comma 15. So then here for the main activity we are not supposed to give here predecessor. And then so brickwork after completing up to roof level brickwork, so then we are going to start with the roof work. So that is concreting roof slab. So for that predecessor it is here for a brickwork we have 16 is the number. Just we'll use here 16 as a predecessor. So then automatically you can see here that linking creation also between the activities. For reinforcement placing, so predecessor I am giving it as 18. So that is centering and shuttering. So then 19. So simultaneously I'll provide for all these linkings for all these predecessors. Electrical and plumbing work. So after completing the roof slab, so we are going to do. So for that I'm providing here 17 as a predecessor. So like this for all the activities we have to provide predecessors. So then plastering also we have to do. So for that also we have to provide uh, predecessors. Sorry, after completing electrical and plumbing works, we are going to do plastering. So for that we have predecessor is 23. So then painting after completing plastering, we are going to do painting. So that is 25 comma 26. And door fittings and window fittings after completing plastering and painting, we are going to do. So that is 27. I'll give it as predecessor. Electrical fittings also same after completing all the activities we are going to do. So for that I'll use 28 as a predecessor. And end of finishing works. So after completing all minor major works, we are going to do finishing works, minor works. So for that I'll represent 29 as a predecessor. So like this, we have to provide predecessors for each and every activity. So here I am giving only for the main activities, not for the major activities. So not for the major activities, only minor activities I am providing the predecessors, right? So simultaneously you can see here bar chart also. So that is starting date is today's date. So that is 2nd June. So from that date, all our work starting. So on simultaneously the total project duration also we can observe here on the top construction of house. So that is 119 days duration. So it is not as per actual date. So randomly I am given some duration. So based on that we got some 119 days for our work. Like this, for each and every activity you can see here. For construction of substructure you require 15 days. For superstructure you require 99 days, and construction of overall construction of house you require 119 days based on our duration, whatever the duration it is given. So based on that we are getting here. So then after that we have to create network diagram. So that is here whatever the network diagram we have created, so that is in that what are the important activities, that is critical activities that we need to represent, right? So before that, so if you want to give any constraints, or if you want to any, provide delaying of that work, so for all those also we can give here constraints. For example, here curing. So curing after here for curing we have provided 28 days. So we can't wait 28 days for the curing. So only generally in normal huge constructions. So what they do, they will provide 14 days curing. Then apart from that, continuously that below that, so work plastering and electrical works they will start simultaneously, right? So likewise here also, if you want to start means for that we can provide here constraints. So whatever you are seeing here, just click on here. So on the connectivity arrow, so here you can provide lead lag time. So that is how much days you are starting before. So that is in terms of minus. So generally 28 days you have given for curing. So if you deduct that, for example, after 14 days we are going to start mix. So here we have to provide minus 14. So before 14 days, so we are starting our work. We can't wait out 28 days. So here you can see that total curing duration we have given 28 days, but we are starting that our next activity after 14 days only we are starting. So that means here we are providing lagging is minus 14. Likewise, we can provide that lagging also. So that is here you can see 22 minus 14 days. So that is we have given duration, right? So likewise we can provide that lagging time also. So then afterwards uh, we can show it here critical activities. So what are the critical activities that we need to represent here? So for that you just click on here, right click. So here show or hide bar styles if you have that one. So just go to critical tasks. So here you can see that what are the important tasks. So that is critical path is nothing but what is the maximum duration of the project you are going to get, that way you are going to represent it as critical path. So here you can see that critical path of the activities. So whichever the red color activities, all those activities are the critical activities, right? So these all the activities we can represent here like this. These are all the red colored activities which represents the critical activities, right? So similarly we can show it a network diagram also. So you just click on the task option. So go to here down arrow mark. So here you can see that network diagram option. So if you click on that network diagram, so you will get network diagram for your project, whatever the project we have created. See here along with the linking, so we have got one complete network diagram for our project, right? Like this we can show other network diagram also. So then come back to again Gantt chart. So here after doing all these things we have to create a resource sheet. So for that, we have to enter all the resources, whatever we require for construction of house. So all these resources we have to enter. So for that, we need to go to resource sheet option. So here, if you click on that Gantt chart down arrow button, so you'll get one resource sheet option here. So just click on that resource sheet. So here we need to enter all the resource data. So what are the resource name, whether it is material or otherwise human resource, all this we have to select, how we are going to bring that material, and here what is the standard rate for each and every material. So all these things we have to enter in this resource sheet. So for all that, just I am already entered my prepared one resource sheet. Just I'll copy that one here. all the resources. So I'm just copying here instead of typing. So like this, so we have to enter all the resources. We have to make a list of all the resources. And in this, so we have to select whether it is material or so human resource. So here work represents, so all the human resources we are going to measure in terms of work, and materials we have to change it as material here. So just click on here. Cement is a material. So just click select as material. So all this we have to change. So as a material. So after selecting like this, so we have to enter a standard rate for each and every resource. So here in the standard rate column, so here we have to enter standard rate for each and every material. So these standard rates actually we need to enter as per scheduled rates books, right? Every year government releases this SR book, scheduled rate book. So according to that we have to enter uh, standard rates for the each and every resource. So here randomly I'll provide some approximate number for each and every resource. Right? For a site engineer, I'll give 1200 per day slash D you have to enter, and then for all the activities we have to enter like that. So for supervisor, for, and for supervisor 1000 / D. So it is standard. It is showing per hour. So we have to change it as per day. So that's why I'm using /D. So then mason. So just 700 / D, and then cool is 500 / D, and then carpenter 600 per day, plumber 600 per day. So here approximate number I'm providing for each and every resource. So for cement also we have to provide. So here if you are bringing cement in terms of bags means, so we have to provide per bag cost. So just along with that you have to represent that unit also. So here cement we are going to get in terms of bags. So just we have to represent bags. So per bag approximately it is 350 rupees. So just we have to enter like this. And bricks in terms of numbers or loads. So in which unit you are using. So based on that we have to provide cost. So I'm using here in terms of numbers. So then bricks in terms of numbers. So per brick it is 7 rupees. So approximately we are going to provide. So that is 7 rupees. Yeah. So then sand. So generally fine aggregate in terms of loads or cubic feet we are going to get it. So that's why here just I'll use CFT cubic feet. For cubic feet approximately it is 180 rupees. So then force aggregate also we are going to get it in terms of loads or cubic feet. CFT. So I'm using here CFT. Per CFT it is around 80 rupees. So then steel kgs or tons we are going to get. So I'm using here kg. So per kg around 80 rupees. And then tiles. So here tiles for resource assigning, for actual works we have to do individually, separate one by one we have to do it. So here we are using tiles, a lump sum amount we are going to give. So since we don't have that much of time to do all the activities, so just I'm giving lump sum amount for the tiles. So lump sum I'm providing for tiles 20,000. So like this I'm providing, and then for paints also lump sum I'm providing, and electrical accessories also same. So for paints So 15,000 for electrical accessories 15,000. So approximately some I'm providing some values here. So like this, we have to create a resource sheet. So whatever here you are seeing, so that is percentages that it indicates numbers. So 100% means one number. So here for resource leveling, we can change it these numbers also later, right? So like this, we have to create a resource sheet. This is a resource sheet creation. Then after creating these resources, so we need to go to Gantt chart again. So again, whatever the resources we have created, so that we need to assign to each and every activity. So just click on here, one activity. So click, go to resource option. So here you have resource assign option, assign resources. Just click on resource assign option. Just so what are the resources you require for site clearance? So that all the resources you need to select here. For site clearance, generally you need one supervisor and coolies are enough for the site clearance. So right. So just I'll select only those two resources. One it is cooling and again supervisor. So we have to select required number of resources. So here for site clearance we need to use only required number of resources. Just I am using here one coolie and along with one supervisor. So those two resources we have to select and we have to give how many number of resources you require for that work. So that is those numbers also we have to select and later on you have to click on that assign option. So here you can see that number of resources assigned for that activity. So like this for all the activities we need. So we have one more method of resource assigning. So whatever you are seeing on the resource column, resource names column, here also we can select that resources you require, how many number of resources you require. So that is also we can select here, right? So just and numbers also we can select here for site clearance. You have selected two numbers, right? So just you can see here, go to resource assigning option. Here we are seeing 100% only. If you want coolies as five number of coolies means that you just make it as 500%. Just you have to increase, you need to increase that percentage as 500. See here that 500%, 500 number of persons we are using, five number of persons we are using. So what are all the resources we wanted? So just those resources we have to select and along with the number. So then close this tab. So here you can see in the resource column, coolies are 500% that represents 5 number and supervisor is 1. So like this. So along with that, so on the right side that bar chart, on the bar chart also we can show that all the resources, right? So on one more method of assigning that resources. So here one first method and other method. So directly here on the resource names column, if you click on here means so directly all the resources you will get, right? In this for marking what are all the resources you require, so all the resources directly you can click on here. So right, for example, for marking you require site engineer and mason and coolie, and then after that you require supervisor. So like this we need to select all the resources and then enter. See here only the resources we can select, but how many number of resources we want that we can't select here. So again you need to go to resource assign option. There we need to change that number. So here 100% all the uh, resources it is showing. So we can't use all as only one. So if you want, for example, for police, if you want 200 means, so that means two numbers means, so that we can change it as 200%. 200% indicates two number, right? So like this we can change, so that also it will represents here. So like this, so we have to change and then we have to close that one. So here you can see that numbers usage also. Similarly, for all the activities except major activities, we have to do resource allocation, right? So on those resources also we can see on the bar chart also we can see, right? So you can see here, just already I assigned resources some for all the activities. For all the activities we need to assign resources. So just I already assigned for all the activities in some other project, you can see here. So for this project, so here for all the activities, what are the resources usage and all the activity you can see here. So this, like this we have to assign resources for each and every activity. So then after assigning the resources, so after assigning the resources, so we need to do what is the total resources used. So all these are things we can calculate in the resource reports, right? So before that, after doing all this work, so we have to uh, work track the work progress, right? So for example, we did all this uh, work in our project. So after entering all this data, so if you want to update the project, so for example, if your project is started from today, so after 1 month, if you want to track that work, how much work need to be complete by after 1 month, so that if you want to track me, so here we can track by using software, and we can cross check that work from on the site whether say work is completed, otherwise still anything work pending. So all the data also we can track. So for that, so we have here some options, tracking options. So before the tracking, so we need to set the baseline for the project, right? So for tracking that project, so we need to set the baseline. So you just click on that project option, you just click on that project option. So here you will get one option, set baseline. So just go to set baseline. So go to set baseline option, set baseline for entire project you have to select, and then click on OK. So then you can see after setting that baseline, so after setting that baseline, so here if you click on that tracking Gantt, so here you will get one separate uh, tracking Gantt, you will get separately like this. So here you will get along with the bar chart one bottom baseline for each and every activity. So why? Because we are setting baseline, right? So just I'll remove baseline here. Just see here, clear baseline for entire project. See all the baseline gets closed. So here before updating, before tracking, so we have to set baseline. So here go to set baseline. for the entire project. So then click on OK. See here for all below that activities, we got one separate baseline. So now after setting this baseline, so we can update and track our project, right? So for updating, for tracking, we are going to use that baseline. So this whatever the baseline we are setting here, so that is we are using it as standard. So for example, here one baseline we are going to consider it as 100%. So in that 50% completed that actual work means, so it will 50% it shows here. So like that we can update that each and every activity. So for that, so after setting that baseline, so you need to go to update project. So for how many days that project we want to update, so the all those data we can get here. So just for updating, just I'll say wait here. So it is a it's another project no? So for that I'll check the dates and all here. So start date of this already existing project, it is 5th 2016. Current date it is 2020 2/6/2020. So here 5th month 2016 it is starting date of this project. So for this just we will update for 3 months. So that is starting date of this project, it is starting on the day 5th of this 5th month 2016 it is starting date. So from that date we will update to some 3 months, right? So for that you need to go to project option, go to update the project. So here we have to select that how many days if you want to update that project. So it is starting of that work project, it is on 5th of the 5th month in the 2016. So here just we will select uh, after 3 months what is the work progress that we will check. So or after 1 month, right? So just I'll select 5th of the 7th month or 6th month. So then entire project we want to update, then click on OK. Okay, see here, so by that time, so after 1 month, so here whatever the right marks indicates, so all these activities we are supposed to complete. So if it is by seeing this percentage of completion, we can cross check whether that work is completed or not in the actual site, so that we can identify, right? So for this construction management, so maximum we are going to use this MSP software, right, for the construction management of all the activities. So because of that purpose, so scheduling and tracking and updating of these projects, so maximum all the constructions we are going to use that MSP software as a basic tool for tracking of that work, construction work, right? So here in the one by one activity also we can update, or otherwise simultaneously likewise. So by using that updating option after 1 month or after 2 months, how much work we need to complete, how much work it should be needs to complete, right? So all these works also we can track, right? Or otherwise by seeing that site this work is completed. So for example, here a brick above sill level, so that means brickwork above the sill level it is completed means. So by clicking one by one activity also we can update, so that means this 100% it is completed. So this work it is showing here 90% completion. For example, brickwork up to roof level, so this work it is showing 0% completion, right? Or lintel beam or chajja it is showing 0% completion. So if you want to make it 100%, so one by one activity if you want to update me, so just click on that same activity. So here you have percentage completion. If you click on the task option, you will get percentage completion option, right? So that if you click on that 75% completion, so automatically it will update here 75% work is completed, right? For all the activities we can update like this, or otherwise we can track. So for 2 months or for 3 months likewise also we can track that each and every activity. So this is nothing but updating and tracking of the project. So majorly for this purpose we are going to use that Microsoft project for the construction management, right? For the tracking of that work, right? Along with the scheduling and estimation. So here for all the activities, what is the cost we are using? So that is also we can find out. So for example, what is the resource cost? What is the project cost? What is the total budget of the project? So everything we can calculate. So here you can see for all these projects. So after assigning that resources, we are going to get here some amount. So here we are getting 4,03,560 rupees is the total budget of this project. Since here we are constructing a small house, so for that we are using 66 days is the project duration. For that we are getting cost it is 4,03,000. So if you want to insert that cost, so you just go to insert column, just click press C, so click on that cost option, so you will get one separate cost column also. Like this we need to insert that cost column, so whatever the option you wanted, so that you can insert here, right? Or otherwise you can delete also, right? You just go to here, click on hide, so that will disappear. Like this we can insert, or we can delete that all the columns also, like this here. And so for this total project duration also you got, total budget of the project also you got, and resource allocation and resource utilization also we can check it here. So for that just we need to go to reports. So what are all the resources we are using, all these resources also we can cross check, right? So and before that if you want to do any resource leveling also we can do it. So here since all the resources are leveled, so that's why here it is not showing a red symbol. So just one more project I'll show you, wait a minute. See here, so if you're not doing resource leveling means, so here like this a red human symbol it will show, so that means this task is over allocated. So that means here in the resource sheet, whatever numbers we have provided, only one number for each and every resource we have given, that means 100%. But here we are using as a five numbers, or 5 or 3 or 2 numbers we are using. So that's why we have only one resource, but we are using 5 numbers, so that means over allocation we have here. So that we can do it by two methods, by manual or changing, or otherwise by doing changing the duration also we can change that number of resources, right? So that two different methods we have, by changing here level all resource option, and otherwise manually we can change that number. So here better use manual changing of that all the resources. So for that you need to go to resource option, resource sheet option, go to resource sheet. So here you can see that red color indicates over usage of that resource. So just you increase that number, 6 numbers. So then automatically, so that red symbol will disappears on the Gantt chart. See here. So we have 6 numbers. We are using 5 resources. So that's allocation is clear. Likewise, we need to do the resource leveling also, right? So then after doing all the procedure, to create the we have to create the reports. So for that we need to go to reports option, click on that project. So here we need to go to reports. So here you can see that reports and visual reports, by using that bar chart or Gantt chart. So all these resources we can download as a bar chart and Gantt chart. And along with that, if you want to see any particular budget allocation or cost allocation for each and every activity, or any other earn value analysis, or otherwise what is the, for example, earn value analysis is nothing but, for example, what is the estimated cost, what is the utilized cost, is there any variance, right? So for the estimated cost and budget utilized, if you are getting any difference amount, so all these amounts also we can identify here by each and every task wise. So here you can see overall project construction we got 4 lakh 3,000. Only for the site clearance we required some around 2,600 rupees. So for marking 2,100 rupees. For the construction of substructure, you require 58,000. Likewise, for each and every activity wise, we got here based on the resources allocation. Like this, we need to create separate complete a report. So all the reports we can generate a printout also by going to here reports option. Just if you want a resource printout or otherwise budget printout. So all these things also we can get the printout. So just I'll show you one printout here, one report here. Just I'll go to cost. What is the cash flow? So just I'll flow of cash cost in the or otherwise over budgeted tasks. So I'll select uh, over budgeted tasks. I'm selecting here. So there is no any over budgeting tasks. I'll select some other option. So what is the budget allocation for each and every activity? So I'm selecting that as a report. So that you need to make it as a print. So through this, so we can create the printout. So then after creating that printout, so we need to select, we can cross check that reports also. Here you can see, so individual task wise. So what is the cost, total cost, what is the baseline cost? So everything we can cross check here. So we can get the printout of this one also. So by taking this printout, so we can cross check all the values and we can check all the resources and resource utilization, all the values also we can see here. And resource utilization also we can check here. So what is the resources utilization, resources remaining works, all these templates and all this in terms of graphical format also we can see by using here reports option. For reports creation, it will take a little bit time. So since that in terms of graphical format, it needs to represent. So if you want to merge the projects or if you want to join the projects also, we can join here by using merge projects option. So here you can uh, check through the graphical format also. What is the completed activity? What is the actual work? What is the remaining work? So you can see here the site engineer usage and supervisor usage and mason usage. So all these data likewise we can see by seeing the reports. So here whatever I am seeing resource remaining work report. So likewise resource utilization also we can check, the total budget of the project also we can check. So for all these reports also we can generate here, right? So this is all procedure for the Microsoft project. So in this generally entire project, so they don't ask in the exam. So for doing this entire project you require minimum 3 hours. For doing one small whatever we have discussed till now, so for doing this work you require minimum 3 hours. So generally for your sixth semester subject, generally they are going to give a part wise part. So in this, for example, in the question exam, generally they'll ask to create a calendar for the project. So that is the one question. Create a calendar by giving some number of days, some number of hours. Show me that Gantt chart. So likewise they'll ask, and along with that, create a resource sheet. Assign the resources to a particular number of activities. So likewise they're going to ask, and along with that, so create a network diagram or otherwise show critical path. So whatever we have discussed, some steps, right? So in that any one or two activities, so they will ask in the exam. So this doing entire procedure you require minimum 3 hours. So that's why here you have for this MSP you have half an hour time. So that's why they will ask any one content or any one topic of this MSP. Generally they will ask in the exam, right? So this is all a procedure used for Microsoft project. So thank you for listening.